Correction to the beginning of this video when I started and I said how black women hate other black women. That was a Freudian slip. I intended to say this poem that this man has done, this black male has done, is indicative of the hate that all black males have towards black women. There's not one on the face of the earth that do not have this hate towards us. It has been embedded in them through their existence in America. And when I say that, I mean all of them. How the sons secretly hate their mamas, and how guys that marry women, have children with them or date them, how they hate them as well. It is unadulterated hate by all black males for black women and little girls. Full credit to Miss Twilight for the poem where the black male is actually explaining to black women how all black women hate black women, how they despise us, all of them, all of them, all of them. So please stop trying to make excuses. I would like you to pay attention to the very part of the end of the poem where the black male goes on to explain that, yes, I know that you will think I am simply venting and you'll continue to keep trying to love me when I despise you. I want you to hear those words and have them echo throughout your brain every day when you think that you need one of these guys in your life. Also, I want you to pay attention to the part where he does say, I will beat you. I will take your life from you. And basically, after that verse, he says, because I hate you because I'm bored. Now, he's not saying bored with you. He's talking about bored with life, himself, etc. So, all of this is, no matter how he puts it in the context of his despising you or hating you, it's all the same end result. He doesn't like you, so stay away from him. And there's nothing, when you listen to this poem, you actually understand that there's nothing you can do that's going to change the way they hate you. So even though I know Umar was on Hardly Initiated and everybody was thinking that he was dropping something so deep, and you know, if you listen to him, everything's going to be all right, wrong. Because when you listen to him, you realize that he is a misogynist as well. Every time he talks about black males, he's so empathetic. He's so how do you say the word? He's so explanatory, right? Explanatory when it comes to how trauma affects black males. But whenever he talks about black women, he never talks about the trauma that is inflicted on black women by black males as children, as adults, as infants, as old women, and how all of those traumatic experiences make people who they end up being. He talks about, in that interview with Hardly Initiated, how the dynamics of the black household is an issue because the black mother always has to hold some form of resentment, right? It's funny how he never talks about how some of those black women who were little black girls that were forced to suck their father or their stepfather, brother, cousin, or uncle's dicks at 5 years old at night and before they went to school in the morning, or who had to swallow cum as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old little girl, not knowing what the fuck is going on and why that was happening to her. He often forgets to include those moments and how those moments imprint the most permanently damaging developments on a child's brain, right? And how it creates hate in a place where love and joy used to be. He never talks about that. He never talks about how those little girls that fucking pimp was talking about, all right, on their show, are beat into rape, tied down on their beds, and forcibly taken by somebody they fucking detest the way they smell and look. He doesn't talk about the daughters who are raped by their fathers and treated like they're their fucking girlfriend or a woman they've met outside in the street. He doesn't talk about the reality of those things. And those things are the reason why black women hate black males, and why we don't want our daughters around them, and why we don't want shit to do with them. And those of us that are smart, we know that as long as we can help it, we will never birth another one of those motherfuckers into existence. Those are the things that he never talks about. He never talks about the 15-year-old girls that are lured away on the internet by 30 and 40-year-old guys that want to fuck these little girls and then savagely beat them to the point where these little girls are going live on Facebook and begging for somebody to come save them because a predator is savagely attacking them and violating them. He don't talk about that. He doesn't talk about the grandfathers that put 3-year-old little girls on their laps and attempt to penetrate their small vaginas and their anuses. He don't talk about that. He don't talk about the babies that are not even 1 year old that have their jaws broken because some nigga is trying to stick their dick in their mouth. He don't talk about that. But those are the real things that make black women have an attitude and not want to be bothered with black males, because we know the dirty, nasty, Mr. type shit they do in our households when all the rest of you motherfuckers in society and brainwash, blackmail, worshiping black women try to hide and pretend like it don't exist. We know it, and guess what? We don't want no fucking more parts of it. We don't want no more parts of that bullshit. So if Umar's going to talk about black love and relationships, I want him to factor in that there's no such fucking thing as black love or black relationships, because black males are incapable of anything. They don't know how to do anything. And they damn sure don't know how to respect, care about, or see black women as fucking human beings.
Only changed you. Your version of love has changed you from a woman of esteem, beauty, and vigor into a woman who is now bitter and too blinded by my lies to ever see or receive the truth. I hurt you on purpose because I feel I have no purpose. And since I feel that you are worthless, I see you as not being worth it. Worth me giving you my heart unbroken, although I know that you deserve it. Because I hate myself, I put you through hell. And I make it a point to remind you every day of the many ways that you are imperfect. I am dead to life and your version of love, yet you keep trying to raise me. Foolishly thinking that your God is going to save me. Religiously thinking that your prayers are going to change me when I see no need in changing. I often wonder why you do not hate me and why you feel as though you cannot escape me. But then I am reminded of the moment when you let me in and simultaneously you became me. And as wicked as I am, you, my sweet, are just as evil, you see. You hate you just as much as I hate me. So in essence, we are equals. That monster of ugliness you have become is from everything that we have been through. Indeed, I see it and I feed it because I am the one who put it in you. I find delight in your feelings of inadequacy because successfully I am the cause of you feeling less than. I sit back with laughter as I watch you painfully bear the burden of everything that you are stressed with. I often wonder why... I can remember the moment when you let me in and allowed me to destroy everything that you were blessed with. You will never leave me. But indeed, I will leave you, and when I do, misery is all that you will be left with. I promise you this. I am honest with this. I will never love you no matter how much I try to pretend. When I am nice to you, internally I am despising you because you celebrate pain every time you refuse to recognize this truth. Truth being that I will use you until I get desperately sick and tired of you. I could spit in your face, piss on your grave, and you would still look at me and wish that I changed. I can abuse you, bruise you, ignore you like I never knew you, only for you to look at me with sorrow in your eyes because your feelings remain. You should feel pitiful and ashamed. You are not strong, you are weak to me, insignificant and obsolete to me. You are as fragile as sand, and when the rain comes, I will stand back and watch just how quickly you sink for me. Why is it that with such a high regard you think of me, and you reach for me, and you plead for me? There is not a king in me, no matter how much you try to convince yourself that one can be seen in me. Leave me, I implore you, because eventually I'm going to do nothing but destroy you. I'm going to take your life, your pride, your smile, your shine, your virtue, and your joy too. I'm going to get worse as our time increases, and during the moment when you are at your weakest, I'm going to do something to drastically hurt you before I leave you where you weep in pieces. Please stop telling yourself it will get better, because it will not. And I will experience this cynical pleasure each time I watch you cry. Yes, I began by addressing you as queen because I do see her, but you do not care about her, so why should I? This pointless thing we have is not real to me. What is it that you feel for me? I have beaten you down to your lowest point and you are still with me? Why? I disrespect you because I am bored. I use your body in ways that make you feel like a whore. I have done so many obviously hurtful things to push you away, and you always come back for more. I've grown comfortable with abusing you, apologizing, and then abusing you again. I've made you feel so much shame that you alienate yourself from your family and your friends. Masterfully, I've made you think that no other man will ever want you, and that powerful faith you once had now comes back in pitiful, sporadic moments. Honestly, the only time that I kinda like you is when I'm able to look down on you when you are feeling the most regretful and hopeless. But you will regard these words as me just venting and remain in this bondage, blind with eyes wide open. Please know, it is my goal to extinguish the last bit of light you have, which is your soul. And then I will go.
The hell?